Good morning. Welcome to the Sunday morning worship service of DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church in Naperville, Illinois. I am Chris Cable, a member of your Board of Trustees. We're glad you're here, whether you're present in the sanctuary this morning or watching remotely. It is so good to be here together. We welcome you to our church and invite you to get to know us better during and after the service. As Unitarian Universalists, we hold that there are many paths to truth and meaning, and we support one another on our spiritual and religious journeys while holding ourselves in covenant through our shared 7 principles. The mission of DuPage UU Church is to gather as an inclusive community, to grow in character and mind and spirit, and to transform the world towards fairness, love, and compassion. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here. Now, if you're online, I invite you to greet each other through the chat. And if you're present here, I invite you to turn to someone you did not come with and greet them with a wave and a good morning greeting.
We light our chalice for the fourth source of our Unitarian Universalist tradition, Jewish and Christian teachings which call us to respond to God's love by loving our neighbors as ourselves. On this, the fourth week of Advent, we first relight the candle for hope. Hope is an active practice, not guaranteed, but rather a seed we tend to in our hearts. Our second candle is relit for peace. In a world of conflict and strife, peace is one of the many things we hope for and one of the many things that calls us for our active participation. Our third candle is relit for joy. Joy is not empty or hollow. It is the thrill of the first snowflake, the wonder of the holiday season, the spark in a young child's eye. This week, we light the candle of love. This is not love as some sappy sediment, lacking substance or proof. This is love of the highest order, calling us to be our best selves.
The love of God with us does not come as a mere feeling or sentimental fluff. Love cannot be imposed from on high. Love is our greatest commandment, tending tenderly to God, to other, and to self. The love of God with us is love in action, radical love practices, redistribution of resources and risks, solidarity with those most exposed to threat, hospitality to caravans, refugees, migrants, and sojourners, caring for those we've been taught to despise or fear. This love is fierce and tender. It defies unjust rules and flattens hierarchies of value. The love of God with us is collective, liberating us from deadly alienation. Love is gestating in darkness. It comes unexpectedly. Love invites our expectation and demands our participation. Prepare the way for love enfleshed. May love be birthed among, within, and through us this Advent. O come, Emmanuel.
Welcome and good morning. We are so happy to see you today on this day, our holiday pageant service. I am Reverend Mandy Huizinga. I am the minister of this congregation.
And I'm Steve Cooper, the Director of Religious Education for our church. Today, we're going to share the story of the birth of Jesus. We call it the Nativity, from the Gospels of Luke and Matthew. And today, we are not just going to reread the story of the Nativity or retell it. we're going to relive it, and as we experience what it means to be a people of mystery.
You may ask, why do we celebrate the Nativity? Many of us do not believe that Jesus was a deity. Many probably do not believe in angels or the virgin birth. True, but we believe in songs which are born in the hearts and minds of people. We believe that some stories deserve to live forever because of what they tell us about ourselves. The angels singing an anthem of peace and goodwill deserve to be heard forever because they are the angels in human hearts. The humble shepherds who had ears to hear and hearts to receive a message of joy deserve to live to the end of time. The wise people so faithfully seeking the way of a star deserve to go in search again each year, for they are the story of our quest for ourselves.
And rather than just hearing or watching the story, we're going to get inside of it and make it our own story as much as possible. This, of course, depends entirely on everyone's goodwill and cooperation. Some of you, we hope, will take part in the story and help us to see and experience this familiar, beloved tale in a new way, as if we were actually present within the story, as if it were happening right here and right now, as if we never had heard this story before.
Although nativity drawings and paintings existed earlier, St. Francis of Assisi celebrated Christmas by setting up the first known three-dimensional nativity scene around the year 1220. He used real animals to create a living scene so that worshipers could contemplate the birth of Jesus in a direct way, making use of the senses, especially sight, and experiencing wonder. He only used a straw-filled feeding trough set between a real ox and donkey. It was beautiful in its simplicity, with the manger acting as the altar for the Christmas Mass.
Our nativity scene will be a little bit more elaborate. We're going to read the story, which has been slightly modified, but we will all recognize the familiar characters and the familiar plot of the ancient story. Several times during the story, we will pause and ask for volunteers to play some of the parts in the story. If you wish to be in the story, raise your hand when we ask for volunteers, and we'll call on you, and our stage managers will invite you to go over to the costume area where they will prepare you for your part.
No matter whether you come up or not on the diocese, everyone is a participant in this service, for witnessing its creation is as vital to the story as playing a part in it. Steve and I will be narrating the story and pointing to the people who've raised their hands. We'll send you to the costume area. The Youth Religious Education Committee oversees the costumes and gets everybody robed for the right parts. Once costumed, our stage manager will help steer you in the right direction for your position on our nativity scene.
The stage manager will help you find the place where you are to go and tell you what to do next. As the story is being read, listen carefully, and you will also hear some directions about what you are to do. All you must do, volunteers, is listen to the stage manager's directions and the directions you hear in the story. But don't worry, there are no mistakes. If there are any little ones with you that can't see the stage area, go ahead and situate yourselves so that you can. And remember that we want everybody to hear and see the story. If you need to, you can gently remind those around you that we all want to listen to the story. The story is a beautiful and meaningful one, and we are here to be moved and awed by it once again. But we are also here to have fun. So let the story begin.
We bring to you this morning the ancient story of the Nativity, the story of the birth of Jesus. Listen to and watch the story as if for the first time. Imagine that you have never heard it before.
Imagine that this ancient story is really happening right here and right now in our sanctuary.
Imagine that after years and years of hearing stories about people bowing down before powerful kings and emperors and dictators and chieftains and tyrants, you finally hear a story in which powerful, wise kings and queens and shepherds alike kneel down before one tiny newborn child.
Imagine that after hearing so many stories about terrible wars, about persecutions and ethnic cleansings, you hear the friendly story of a birth, the story of a humble carpenter and his wife, the baby that is born to them in a stable, shepherds in a starlit field who leave their sheep to go and see the newborn child, and gentle animals who gather round in the stable where the baby lies in a manger.
Imagine that in this story, all the people are longing for peace on earth and goodwill to all people everywhere.
Imagine that you're hearing for the first time a story that questions the power of large armies and great wealth.
Imagine that you hear a story that talks about the transforming power of love instead of the transforming power of the military.
Imagine, if you can, a day in the future when people will really believe this story, will really believe that love is more powerful than war, that poor, humble people are just as important and just as powerful as the most famous and powerful rulers.
Listen carefully now, because that's the story we are about to hear. Let us begin.
First, we need the Emperor Caesar. In those days, long, long ago, 2,000 years ago, a decree went out from the Emperor Caesar Augustus saying,
"And all the world should be registered so they can pay taxes to me."
All the people were required to go to the city or town where they had been born to register. And for some people, that meant a long journey.
Joseph, a carpenter, had to go all the way from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to the city of David that was called Bethlehem, the same village of Bethlehem that is still there today. Joseph went to be registered with Mary, the woman he was planning to marry. Joseph and Mary had to travel a long way, and they knew it would not be easy because Mary was expecting her child very soon, and she would be very uncomfortable both walking and riding on their donkey. But there was nothing that could be done about it. They had to go. So they started on their journey, traveling day and sometimes through the dark nights, which were only lit by bright stars.
We need some stars. I need 6 adults or children to be stars for our scene. And if you go on the stage, you will see it marked star. I got parts for the little ones. So please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing the first verse of Song 246, O Little Town of Bethlehem. The words will be projected.
While Mary and Joseph were in Bethlehem, the time came for Mary to have her baby. But there was no room in the inn, which was the only place with comfortable beds. Joseph looked everywhere, but the only place he could find for Mary to give birth to the baby was a stable behind the inn, where there were 2 donkeys, 3 mice, 1 ram, 4 cows, and an ox. Very specific here.
So we now need some young people to play 3 mice. Aaron, Vita, Katja. 2 donkeys. Donkey. You want to be a donkey? So go over there and they'll put a costume on you. Sawyer, you want to play donkey? I need a ram. Tyler. I need 4 cows. Ezra. Lucy. Oh, you guys are holding out. Beatrix.
1 more.
So we can have a bigger cow. Yes.
Stephanie.
So Stephanie. And now we need an ox. So part of the role of the ox is to maintain all the other animals. So, come on. Go ahead and you can sit up there on the floor.
That's amazing. Could the travelers make use of this place and sleep with the animals? It would give them at least some cover and protection from the cold wind.
The animals welcomed Mary and Joseph into the stable, and the animals were even kind enough to give up their hay-filled manger so the baby could have a bed. Thus, Mary gave birth to her firstborn child in a simple stable surrounded by animals and wrapped him up in bands of cloth and placed him in the manger. Please stand in body or spirit and join in singing song number 243, Jesus Our Brother. The words will be projected.
In that region, there were flocks living in the field. There were shepherds living in the fields, flocks too, I'm sure, keeping watch over the flocks by night. Now we need 1 large shepherd, 2 small shepherds, and 6 little sheep. You can go to the changing area to be robed. Do I have a large shepherd? Miguel.
Miguel will be a large shepherd. Do you want to be a small shepherd? Or you can be a sheep? Okay, Luke will be a sheep. Any shepherds? I need 2 young shepherds. Dax, go ahead and... Dad, you want to join Dax and be a shepherd too? All right. All right, I need some little sheep.
Little sheep.
Sheep.
Yes,
Brianna?
Brianna.
Nora, would you like to go with Brianna and be a sheep? No, you want to be a... Okay, Dad, you can be a sheep. Anybody else want to be a sheep? Clements. All right, I think we have enough. Now that very night, in an open field, out on a hillside, a mile or so from town, a few shepherds were standing around a blazing fire. Some were sleeping, while others kept sharp watch over every moving thing on the hillside, lest a wolf sneak up in the dark and climb the wall into the sheepfold.
But it was not a wolf that surprised these shepherds that night. A shining angel suddenly flew down from the sky and lighted on the ground beside them.
We now need... This is apparently the coveted part. We now need a big angel and 4 little angels.
Luna, you want to be the big angel?
All right. And then angel, 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 angel.
There you go.
As our angels prepare, please stand in body or spirit and join in singing the first 2 verses of hymn 237, the first Noel.
Then an angel of the Lord stood before the shepherds, and this angel was truly magnificent, and the glory of the Lord shone around the shepherds, and they were terrified. But the angels said to them,
Do not be afraid, for I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people. Born today in the city of David is a Savior. He is the Messiah, the Lord. You will find a child wrapped in cloth and lying in a manger.
and suddenly with the angel there were a multitude of angels. Everyone please join the angels in saying, Glory to God in the highest heaven, and peace on earth, goodwill among all people everywhere. Then the angels left the shepherds and seemed to go right up into the heavens. Go back over here by the stars.
And the shepherds said to one another,
"Let us go now to Bethlehem and see this thing that has taken place, which the angel has made known to us."
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why these joyous happy cheer? What great brightness did you see? What glad tidings did you hear? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. See him in a manger laid, whom the angels praise above. Mary, Joseph, lend your aid, while we raise our hearts in love. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
So the shepherds went quickly to Bethlehem with their sheep, and there they found Mary and Joseph and the child lying in the manger, just as the angel had said it would be. And when the shepherds saw this, they told everyone what the angel had said to them about this newborn child. And everyone who heard the story was amazed. But Mary kept all these things and treasured them in her heart. And so the shepherds and sheep knelt too around the manger, glorifying and praising God for all the wonders they had heard and seen as it had been told to them.
After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, wise people who were kings and queens from the Far East came to Jerusalem. We need some wise people to go to the costume area to be our wise magi's.
Becky,
Ariel,
Kate, Wendy, Joe. We could use 4 more.
yes, Clara.
All right, we have Clara.
We have to
Chris
have more
would
wise
love to
people
be-
here.
And Amelia.
Wonderful.
That night, as these wise people were sitting on the roof watching the sky, they saw a new bright star where there had never been such a star before. They wondered what it meant. What important event just happened somewhere on the earth? And one of them thought that a child had been born who was going to be a very great and good man. And the wise persons learned from the king about a prophecy which had been spoken long ago, that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem.
Now we need an awesome volunteer to be our special star. You all are awesome, I know, but yes.
Lucas,
come on up. No? But you're awesome. We'd love to have you as our
All right.
star. There we go.
And there, ahead of the wise people, went the star that they had seen when it first appeared in the east. So you guys go stand behind the manger. Yep. Yes. So the wise person set out for Bethlehem.
Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star in the skies, and we have come to praise him and bring him gifts.
While our wise people continue their search, please remain seated, rising in spirit only, and join us to sing We Three Kings of Orient Are.
Just fill in. When the wise people saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy and entered into the stable. There they saw the child with his mother, and they knelt down and brought out gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh, which they had brought with them. Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping.
Now that we have gathered our whole nativity scene, let us pause for a moment. Let us look at this awesome scene. I've never seen cuter animals, ever. It is a special night with stars and angels and shepherds and wise people and many animals, and they are all witness to a special birth. No doubt the birth of Jesus over 2,000 years ago in the stable in Bethlehem looked a little different than this. No doubt our sanctuary is a little finer than that small, dirty stable. But the love and the mystery and the wonder that we see here is no different from the awe that was there at the time of Jesus' birth. As our complete cast holds their places in this nativity scene, let us celebrate the wonder and love of this story by singing together Joy to the World. Please rise in body or spirit. Giving of our treasure is how we reciprocate the many gifts we are given by this community. Your contribution supports the programs and operations of DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church. Giving is also how we live our values in the world. Each month, we share our offerings with an organization nominated by the congregation and selected by the special offering team. The special offering for December will benefit the Bridge communities nominated by DUUC member Ann Ariano. The mission of Bridge communities is to transition families facing homelessness to self-sufficiency by working with partners to provide mentoring, housing, and supportive services. Their vision is a community where all families are healthy, financially stable, and living in affordable housing. For more information about Bridge Communities, visit their website at bridgecommunities.org.
A tradition that has been held at this church for many years is our mitten tree. We start with a bare tree and decorate it with mittens, gloves, scarves, and hats. And these items are then given to children whose families might not be able to afford them otherwise. At this time, we're going to decorate our mitten tree as well as pass the basket. If you brought any items to donate, please line up to decorate the tree. And we will decorate our mitten tree and take the offering during the same time. The offering is given and received in a spirit of generosity and gratitude.
May the candles we light this holiday season remind us of the glowing love within our hearts. May the carols we sing uplift our spirits and renew our hope and vision. May the special moments we spend with the family and friends that surround us strengthen the bonds of caring between us at this time and throughout the coming year. Merry Christmas. our chalice extinguishing words. After we give our tech people just a moment to catch up. Thank you, Justin. We extinguish the light of this chalice, but not the light in our hearts. Until we meet again, may the warmth of our community carry you. Merry Christmas, everyone.